Now, on a completely different note, we've had so many retreats in North America and in South America. And I found participants, this is an observation, but I have a question following that. My observation was that all these participants, though they don't belong to the Hindu religion, I found that they were able to tune in to whatever you were teaching. So now my question is that would their understanding be further enhanced, or would that, or maybe would they kind of appreciate everything a lot better and map it on to their lives, because a lot of the teachings are with Sanskrit quotations, and there's a lot of Sanskrit which is being used, and a lot of Hindu terminology. So would there be is there something where they have a preparation to do before they came for the retreat to enhance their teaching, to enhance their learning, so that they can, it would make it even more fruitful for them, especially now since they're coming to India and they're in the land of the teachings, Like Bhagavad Gita and all that, you will find in every home that you go, you will find a Gita in the puja room. You will find so many pictures of deities and all these. These are all things which you have been talking and covering in your talks. So would it kind of help them a lot more, because now they are actually seeing everything,
Thank you for asking this question, Prema. One has to be, whoever is teaching Amanaska Yoga has to be, or for that matter, any other Hindu Shastra, whoever is teaching, whether you're teaching an Upanishad or a Bhagavad Gita or even Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which are laden with Sanskrit and more condensed, because the sutras are extremely brief, the aphorisms are extremely brief, must be very sensitive to the fact that when you talk about this teaching to a people for whom Sanskrit is not a civilizational language or a native language, then you should not burden them with Sanskrit. That's important. While giving the substance of the Sanskrit slokas and the Sanskrit sutras, you should not burden them with the Sanskrit per se. And if they have a flair for Sanskrit and an attraction for Sanskrit, they may learn it gradually over the years, say over a 10-year period. I myself have been learning Sanskrit in the last 30 years. You're not going to believe this. I'm learning Sanskrit from 1985. How much is that? 25, more than 30 years. And don't ask me about my progress. It's not something to be boastful about. But I continue to be a student of Sanskrit. You had evidence of that in the retreat when my Sanskrit teacher came and he was with us for a day. And it's an independent thing which you can pursue. But whatever is the essence of the Sanskrit sutras or shlokas can be conveyed in the English language or in any other language with a minimum of the Sanskrit burden. And I try to do that. And in the present 10-day retreat, I did it much more efficaciously than I did in the previous Indian retreats and in the North American and in the Latin American retreats, which may have had more Sanskrit terms and a little more of the Sanskrit vocabulary. I have reduced it because I don't want that to come as a wall between you and the understanding of the truth. The truth is very simple. And so I'm aware of that that can pose a problem and come like a wall. So I don't want that, and which is why I have actually minimized. But I do send introductory documents before every retreat. And last retreat I sent out 10 documents, and this time I sent out 3 documents. But very few people read it, even the participants, because in the rough and tumble of life, time is the hardest thing. And to come for a retreat which is 10 days and to completely devote yourself and dedicate yourself, my God, that's a very great achievement. I'm so pleased with that. That even though it was a small number of 18 people, that 18 people came and they were not their bodies were not there and the minds were absent. No, it was not that kind of a thing at all. And the bodies were present, the minds were present, the souls were present. And so from that perspective, I think it's been blessed by the light, by the divine. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so wonderful an experience for all of us.